Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Scott King, and I'm currently kickstarting my 2016 gaming calendar. The calendar is completely packed full of pretty board game photos, which is good because that's what I want to talk to you about today, board game photography. Right now I'm in my photography studio, and I'm recording this on my normal camera, the same camera I use to shoot games with. But what I want to talk to you actually about is board game photography with one of these. That's right, a cell phone. Now in my case, I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus, but it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone 5 or Android something or other. A cell phone can actually take a good photo of a game. The most important thing when you're taking a photo of anything is, are you ready for it? Light. Because without light, you don't have a photo. So what I recommend doing is taking your board game photos near an open window. By putting your game in front of a window, you're having a really strong light source that's not bad for your cell phone. There's a lot of rules we can talk about when it comes to photography. Rules of thirds, leading lines, and things of that nature that have to do with composition. It can get kind of complicated, and in many cases it's like writing. Once you know the rules, you can break them anyway, so it's too much to go into right now. But there's one really big tip I think can help you take better photos. And that's before you take the photo, ask yourself, what's the point? What am I trying to get across? Which I know is very like metaphysical, like why are we here type of question. But bear with me for a second. If you're asking what the point of this photo, why am I taking this photo? There could be lots of reasons. Maybe like, hey, I'm about to get my butt kicked in this war game, and look, here's their army about to crush my one little guy, and I'm sad emoji face. Or maybe you're like, oh my god, I am playing this game and the art and graphic design of this game, it is gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on Facebook so everyone can see how gorgeous this art is, because it is just absolutely amazing. Or maybe you're like, wow, the publisher did not skimp. This game has some pretty kick-butt components, and look at this. This is a sheep meeple with bat wings fighting a dragon. That is awesome. The point is that your photo should have a focal point. And in many cases, that focal point is the point you're trying to get across. Behind me is Letter Tycoon. It's actually a perfect example, because in Letter Tycoon, which is a gorgeous game, there are a few components. There's little discs, there's punch boards, there's a little pretty mini Zeppelin, but there's also so many cards, and cards are the hardest thing to shoot. So when talking about Letter Tycoon, probably the thing that jumps out to me the most is the Zeppelin. The Zeppelin's pretty neat. And if I'm going to take a photo, I probably want that to be the focal point. Why? Because it is unique. It gives the game kind of like a feel like people are going to see that and be like, wait, that is kind of cool. What game is that? You know, it's going to draw attention to it. So I want the Zeppelin to be the focal point. Now, in addition to having a focal point, or at least one of the things you can do to enhance your focal point, is making sure there's no other distractions. So in this case, a good distraction would be, I have my table and I have my fake table here, which are these boards. You won't have a fake table because I'm just weird. I happen to have a whole bunch of boards. I have a whole stack of fake wood over here, and tiles and brick and clays and stuff. Just give me different textures. But it would be very distracting in a photo if you could see my fake table and then my real table underneath, right? So you don't want to do that. In addition, you might be able to see, I don't know how the camera angle is, but I have a bunch of like random cards back here too. Again, that random stuff in the background would be very distracting if it was in the photo. In addition, if I was doing a low angle shot looking up, trying to, like, let's say I was trying to make the Zeppelin look really huge by getting really close and then really angled up, I'm gonna end up getting the window in the background, probably the brick from the neighbor's house back there too. And you don't want that. All that kind of stuff distracts from your main focal point. So what I recommend doing is angling your camera in whatever way you need to, and getting as close as you need to, so there are no weird distractions in the background. So make sure that everything in the photo is a component in the game. If it's not a component in the game, then it's a distraction. So in this case, I definitely want the Zeppelin to be in the main focal point of the photo, but I really want to get across what Letter Tycoon is in terms of the graphic design and the feel for the game. To do that, it means I want a few more components in it. So that's why I went ahead and moved these little dollar tokens, money tokens in the front. They're going to be in the foreground. It's also going to get rid of all this negative space that kind of wasn't doing nothing. In the background, I have the row of cards. And the row of cards I think are really important. I don't need to really be focusing on them too much, because you can kind of get an idea of the feel and tone for it without being crisp sharp. So I can still be focused on Zeppelin and get an idea for the feel and tone of the game and the graphic design of the game by having them in the background. So there we go. There are a whole bunch of tips on how you can take better photos with your cell phone. If you end up taking some photos and implementing some of the things I said, make sure you hit me up on Twitter. I'm @ScottKing. And I'd love to see, like, hey, this is the photo I was taking before, and this is a current photo I've now taken with your advice, because that'd be really cool to see. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and good luck with photos.